being a good parent's really hard. You learn in a hurry, especially when they get older and start pushing the limits and seeing what they could get away with. So in our home, I think we have rules and we have expectations. Rules are mostly don'ts. You're not allowed to do this, don't stay up past this time. And the expectations are, what you?
Some of the expectations we have for our children are cleaning up their rooms at night and cleaning up their rooms before they go to school. My two oldest teenage daughters are messes, and they leave the bathroom a disaster in the morning, and so that's one thing that they have to do. Or my daughter doesn't drive to school. When they were younger, we would write these rules down for them. Every Saturday I would make a chore list for them, and they got to cross them off. But as they got older, I figured I didn't really need to do that anymore. It's pretty standard: clean the bathroom, clean your room. I figured they knew what their chores were because they'd done them for so long that we don't write them down anymore. We just assume they know what they're supposed to do, and we check up on them and make sure they're doing what they need to do on Saturdays for their chores.
Consequences in our home. Some are probably more clear than others. In the past we've had very specific: if you don't keep certain grades, you don't drive, or you don't have a phone, or you don't have an iPod. Others are a little more nebulous, not as well defined. I think the kids know there'll be a consequence. Sometimes it may just be they get in trouble a little bit or get yelled at. But that's probably a weakness we've had, is maybe not defining everything as clearly as we should. Some they really know, some we kind of wing it. When situations arise in our home that we need to adjust to, we communicate well. I think that's a strength in our home. We talk really openly with each other, with our kids. Anytime you can get buy-in, anytime they realize, and they're not doing it just because the fear of mom's going to be mad or dad's going to be mad or we're going to lose this privilege, but they realize, oh, okay, this makes my life easier or safer, or because it's done out of love, they're gonna buy in and be a lot more willing to do that without hesitation or confrontation. One thing we have done well, I think, is when we talk to our kids about like work ethic. Recently, or for a couple of years, I worked an extra job to help us with some financial situations. My wife works cleaning homes and then keeps a very clean home, does dishes, does laundry, cooks for us. And I think we're hard workers, and I know we've talked about that a lot to our kids, the value of hard work.
We're being examples for our children and showing them the importance of hard work.
When a kid's complaining about doing the dishes, it's nice to be able to say, hey, do you not see how hard your mom works or how hard your dad works? That's important. You want to be the kind of person that can grow up doing that type of work. So,
the advice I'd like to give to parents is to know your teenager, know their friends, especially when they start to be teenagers. If they're not bringing them around, there's a reason they're not bringing them around.
We allowed our daughter to spend a lot of time with friends that we didn't know and had no idea what they were all about, if they were good kids or bad kids. In hindsight, that should have been a really big red flag. We're very open, casual people. My wife's the kind that always has treats out for kids, and all of our kids have always, our house has been kind of a hangout, and then all of a sudden our daughter gets to a certain point of her life and our house wasn't the hangout anymore. That should have been a really big red flag to us, and it wasn't.
Listen to your kids. If they're trying to talk to you, look away from your computer and look at them. Put down your games, put down your papers, whatever you're working on, and give them your attention and listen to your kids.
We've been blessed, I think, to always have the same ultimate goal in mind. We're a pretty big deal.